Gotten it out of my head, so I still use this circle. The way you can figure out the different values, so people are asking, what resistor value do I need for an LED? Right. So you need to ask yourself several questions first. What is the voltage you have to power that LED? And the second question is, how bright do you want that LED to be, or what are the specs for how bright that LED can be? Right. So there's we have here, ultraviolet LEDs. It says voltage is 2.8 to 4 volts. Right, that's the what's known as a voltage drop across the LED. And it doesn't give the current here, but I know from memory that the current could be about 20 milliamps. Right, and so if I wanted 20 milliamps across a certain voltage, then 20 milliamps across a certain component, right, I have to know what the resistance is. So picking the resistor means you cover it on this side, and you divide the voltage by the current that you want, and you get the resistance value you need. All right, so then comes the question, well, what voltage do I use? How many people here have never seen a circuit schematic before and would like me to go into detail as to components? Mike? No one else? Okay.
I don't know all the symbols.
Okay. That's fine, right? So, to get an LED going, we need a battery. Right? So let's draw a battery. For those of you that are curious, each one of these little pairs of a short line and a large line is called a cell. When you have multiple of them, it's called a battery. Okay. The short side is positive and the large side is negative. Right? So we have this idea of voltage. Right? So positive you could think of as the top of the cliff, negative is the ground. Right? We also call the ground. So if you hear someone say ground, they mean negative voltage in most circumstances. Right? Later on this is going to change, and everything I'm saying to you right now is actually 90% lies. But if I told you what it actually was, you would all run screaming and never come back again.
Electricity is magic.
Was that part of lecture?
What's that?
Was that last part?
No, the last part was being honest of the lies. That's why I said 90%, not,
So is this a way to say you can't handle the truth?
Right, exactly. None of you. Some of you can. George can probably tell you all the truth you want, but don't go to me if you want the complete truth. I'll give you mostly truth. Half truths, 90% truths. Right?
You can't handle the truth.
Right. Wires are just lines, right? We need to connect things. You plug in your toaster, that wire is this, right? This is one side of the outlet, this is the other side of the outlet. Right? Except a toaster is a horrible example, and wall outlets are a horrible example because we're not dealing with that type of current, right?
AA battery.
What's that?
What's a AA battery like?
What's a AA battery?
The pointy part is the skinny one, and the flat part is the flat.
So if you were to draw a AA battery, it would look like that. Thank you, Mike. That's a much better example. Right? There's your battery. All right. Plug a battery in your remote. That's what it does. So you connect it. A resistor. So if this is a conductor or a wire, it's just a straight line, how would we make that harder to go through?
How would make it a lot of wire?
Make it a lot of wire, right? So a resistor is just a squiggly part, right? There's probably some standard as to the exact number of peaks and which direction they should go, but I just draw a squiggly line, as many as I feel. Sometimes it's 4 and 3, sometimes it's 3 and 2, sometimes it's 2 and 2, sometimes it's 1 if I'm lazy, right? Like that. All right. And now we get to the important part, the LED, the light. Okay. Now I want to make sure I'm not lying because I haven't drawn one of these in a long time. The arrow goes in this direction. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, please. Yes?
Yep. Yeah.
Haha! My memory has not completely gone yet.
Also a lightning bolt.
Yes. Yeah, or an arrow pointing out of it, or a lightning bolt or something, right? Something like this. Sure, why not?
This
got a
squiggly
light.
is
Just
resistance,
draw
right?
a photon.
Right? Don't like I already mentioned, not an expert, and I probably should have done a little bit more homework before I showed up tonight. And I'm standing in front of a dozen and a half
This
people.
isn't the official class here.
No, this is. I already mentioned that for those of you that were expecting a rigid lesson plan or detailed examples and thorough knowledge, I apologize in advance.